What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about if you could only play one console for the rest of your life and what three games you would play on it. All that and more next. As in a retro Facebook group I'm in known as Water Cooler Games Discussion, there was a group of guys from All Retro is Fun and Drunken Master Studio, and they came up with this question about if you could only play on one console for the rest of your life, what three games you would play. Alright, so to answer the first part of the question, I would play for the rest of my life the Nintendo Entertainment System. I am the NES addict after all. So let's start out with a couple honorable mentions because I have to. It was so close between so many of these, so here we go with honorable mentions. Number one, Ninja Gaiden. That game never gets old, mainly because of the challenge. Number two, Mega Man 2. Just an all-around classic, fun game. Everyone loves Mega Man 2. That's well known, so I'll just leave it at that. And number three, and this is the one that came the closest to making my list, and that is Contra. I love Contra. I can beat it without the Konami code after a lot of practice, and I even got lucky one time and beat it without using any continues. Now, granted, I can't do a no-death run, but so those are the three honorable mentions. And now on to the actual games. Alright, so I have three games. Two of them are obvious choices for me. The third one might surprise some of you. So let's start out with the two that I choose back and forth daily, which is my favorite. I still don't know to this day. Number one, Castlevania. Playing as Simon Belmont, I never get sick of it. I never get sick of beating Dracula's butt. I never get sick of using the whip. I just love it. Everything about it is amazing. Number two, Batman. This is one of my most favorite games on the NES. I think it is just incredible. I love the gameplay. I love being able to beat the Joker at the end, and just the level design is incredible, and it's very responsive, and the controls are awesome, and I love wall jumping. I can't get enough wall jumping. Well, except in the bell tower, I can get enough there. Alright, and the final game that might surprise you. It actually surprised me when I thought about it. So you're going to be playing this game for the rest of your life. I can beat both of these games. I can beat all of the other three games that made my almost list. But this game I cannot beat. I'm working on it, but I can't beat it yet. So I'm thinking if I have to play it the rest of my life, it'll give me plenty of time to get good at it. And that game is Battletoads. I'm hoping that this soon becomes one of my favorite games. I am starting to like it a lot more than I used to. I kind of built up some resentment toward it until recently beating the Turbo Tunnel, which I just posted up earlier today, me beating it, which was awesome. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for All Retro is Fun and Drunken Master Studios for tagging me in this video. I hope you guys enjoy. I look forward to seeing everyone else's response. Take it easy.
Hey, it's Charles from Water Cooler Games Discussion, and recently Mosley had asked me and a few other people in the group to do a video about what console and three games we could play for the rest of our lives. You know, of course, only choosing that one and those three. I chose the Game Boy. I like portability, and I think the Game Boy has a ton of games that are just absolutely great, have a ton of replay value, and you can take it everywhere. I mean, the downside is you do need lighting, but that's not a problem. That's why I'm out here and outside, and I'm able to play it wherever I go. And as for games, I'm pretty easy. I chose Tetris. I can play it all day, every day, forever. Zelda Link's Awakening. And Harvest Moon. I can literally play all those games all day, every day, with no problems, without getting bored with them, and they're absolutely great. That's all. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on? It's Will Graham, the Gorilla Gamer. This is a video response to Mosley from Drunken Master Studios and Willie T from All Retro is Fun. And the topic of this video response is one console and only 3 games that, for the rest of your life, which ones would you choose for that console? These aren't in any order, so I'll give a little description of why, so let's get going. First would be Clash at Demon Head. Why? Well, I'm a big Vic Tokai fan, for one. One of my favorite games, is Golgo 13. All of these are for the NES, and this one, it has platforming elements, RPG elements. It's not an easy game, and I think I would spend a lot of time with it. I love the soundtrack, so for nothing else, I could rock out to that, and this would definitely be one of them. Next, it goes without saying, I talk about this one all the time, and that would be Goonies 2. Goonies 2 mainly because of all the different type of gaming elements. You got first-person exploration parts, you got, 2D side-scrolling, platforming, you got all different types of elements in this game, and I love it. And it's a pretty big game as far as the Nintendo game's concerned, so this would be another one. And then finally, I could probably be stuck on a deserted island with this game and be happy for the rest of my life. And it might come as a shock to a lot of people, but that is Baseball Stars. Baseball Stars is, to me, I used to keep track of stats. I used to make my own characters, and I would write them down in a notebook. And this game is, it's kind of like an RPG baseball game. You get to manage your teams. I think I'd end up spending a lot of time on this game as well. So those are my 3 Nintendo games that, I would choose to play for the rest of my life. So anyway, thanks Mosley, thanks Willie, and go check out their channels most definitely, and I'll see you next time. Lates.
What's up guys, Nintendo here, and I was asked a very cool question by Mosley at Drunken Master Studios and All Retro is Fun. Got asked if you had one console and you were stuck on a deserted island, what 3 games would you bring with you? Well, first of all, I hope you'd already have that shit with you. That would be amazing. Second of all, I found that a lot of people commented on this thread in Water Cooler Games and were like, I have no idea, or like, this is a really hard decision. This was not a hard decision for me at all. Mine was easy. DS Lite, motherfuckers. Why the DS Lite? Oh, because it's pretty, it's got nice graphics, and it's also got this other slot for another game system. So yeah, I'm cheating a little bit. My first game is a Game Boy Advance game. So I can play 2 of my favorite games ever, Castlevania Double Pack. Even though I'm cheating, I'm only kind of cheating. It is one console. This is one game cartridge. Castlevania Double Pack has Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow on it, which are arguably 2 of the best Metroidvania exploration-type games that you could ever play. Aria of Sorrow is probably my second favorite Metroidvania game besides Symphony of the Night. Like, no joke, it's that freaking good. And you'll notice mine looks a little different. This is actually a bootleg. It's one of the few bootlegs I've ever gotten, and it's actually the oldest one. I've had this for over 10 years, and what's crazy about it is it plays Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow all the way through. It saves totally fine. I've played it multiple times, beaten it multiple times, both games. Works perfectly. This is the greatest bootleg ever. I don't know. Back in the day, it wasn't that rare or expensive, so I'm not sure why this was bootlegged, but it was, and somehow I managed to get one. I don't even remember where I got that from. But yeah, that's kind of a cheat for the first game, but really not, because it's one cartridge. If I had this cartridge with me on a plane and it crashed, I would have both games. And same thing with the console. It's kind of a cheat, but really, if I had a DS Lite with me, I would have Game Boy Advance and DS games with me. So there you go. That's my first game. It's 2 games. Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow. Okay, so my second game would be arguably one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Probably my second favorite RPG of all time, maybe only behind Final Fantasy VI. I've got, whoa, you see that? Dragon Quest IV, holy crap. Dragon Quest IV on the DS, arguably the definitive version. There's all kinds of extra stuff, including being able to build your own town. The graphics are upgraded, the music's incredible, this is so fun. This is good shit, and definitely one of my favorite games ever, so I would definitely choose this. It's a very long game with 5 different chapters, and each chapter has its own charm, so I mean, that's definitely a game that I could play anytime, anywhere, so that's my second game. Technically third. Okay, and the last game I would take with me a Deserted Island. This is largely because of my recent obsession. Even though I did start with this version, I actually am now playing the Super Famicom version, and I just love it, and that is Front Mission for DS. Same thing as Dragon Quest IV. This is probably the definitive edition, but you have to play it on a handheld. But it does have a little bit more graphical stuff in it. There might even be some extra stuff, not really sure. But Front Mission is a tactical RPG with mechs. The mechs are incredibly customizable. Everything from your name to paint job are constantly able to be changed, and not to mention 2 shoulder weapons, 2 arm weapons, your arms, your legs, your body, your backpack, your CPU, all that can be changed, and that's just on one character. And you end up with plenty and plenty of characters. Like I said, this is a tactical RPG. Yeah, this is my new obsession. Front Mission, whether being played on DS or the original on Super Famicom, you cannot go wrong. So that's it. If I was stuck on Deserted Island, I think I'd be okay. I think I'd survive with Front Mission, Dragon Quest IV, 2 Castlevanias, and a DS Lite. I think this would make me a happy guy as long as I somehow had a place to charge it. But yeah. Plus, if I took my silver DS Lite, I can shine it reflectively at boats that are passing by. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Thank you guys very much for asking me this question. Hope you enjoyed my part of the video. Go check out my channel. It's Nintendo. And subscribe. That'd be rad. And be sure to check out everybody else's parts of this video, and be sure to subscribe to all the other channels involved with this video. That would be amazing. I love doing these things that bring the community together. It's really cool. So thank you very much for including me once again, and keep rocking retro games.
Hello everyone, this is Jerry from the Game Case, and the question was asked. If you had to choose one console and 3 games for that console, what would it be? Well, here on the Game Case, we don't like to break the rules, but we do like to bend terminology. So, as a console, do you mean a home console or a portable console? That's right, I'm maybe breaking the rules. I am going with a portable gaming console. I am going with the Game Boy Advance SP, specifically the beautiful, what is it, 101 model. And it came down to the games. When trying to rack my brain of what 3 games would I want, there was only one option. So, with that in mind, let's get into the games. First, let's start with my favorite game of all time is on this console, and a great port of it to me. Final Fantasy VI Advanced is on here, and it's amazing. One of the reasons this is my favorite one to play is because you do not have to waste a relic spot putting on sprint shoes to walk faster. You can just walk faster. You just hold down B and walk faster. And that's all I need. That's all I want. So that way I can wait, because I gotta waste 1 slot on everybody to cast haste on them. So Final Fantasy VI Advance for the Game Boy Advance. So one of my favorite games of all time is Doom. So I thought, well, Doom is on the Game Boy Advance. I could clearly pick it. But I actually decided to go with Doom 2. Mostly because I've beaten Doom so much that it's not like, if I'm going to be stuck on a desert island, I'm going to go with Doom 2 because there's still a lot for me to learn in Doom 2 as to where Doom I can just run through. So Doom 2 plus double barrel shotgun. That's what you want. I'm looking at the back of this now. I kind of want to go play it again. So Doom 2. And last but not least, Okay, so for this game, technically I could have cheated a little bit more and picked this in a double pack with another game, but I decided no compilations because I also thought about Capcom Mini Mix. It has Mighty Final Fight on there, and it's got Bionic Commando and another game that for some reason slips my mind. Was it 1942? I don't remember. But anyway, but I decided no compilations. That's cheating. Well, Jerry, you picked up 2 ports already. Well, shut your mouth. No one cares. I didn't make the rules for this, neither did you. Someone did, but it wasn't me. So my last pick is another game that's on my top 3 games of all time list. Or, it's my top 6. I have a top 6. I don't have a top 5, I have a top 6. So the other game on my top 6 list is, Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow. It's my favorite Castlevania game. I love this game, and, I can see myself playing through this many more times. It's a nice balance between the RPG elements I get from Final Fantasy VI and actually moving around and doing stuff and actively fighting like in Doom 2. It's a nice mix of both of them. So that's it. Those are my top 3 games. Those are, can I hold these in a weird way? Here we go. If I'm stuck on a desert island, I'm choosing the Game Boy Advance SP 101 model, and I'm picking Final Fantasy VI Advance, Doom 2, and Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. I hope you're all okay with those choices, because I won't care if I'm on an island, stuck, only being able to play these games with a power source somewhere, I'm hoping, because if the battery dies for this, then I'm screwed, and I don't know what I'm going to do, and what do I do if the battery dies? Mosley, what do I do? I don't know now. You tell me. Whatever. Those are my games. Those are my picks. And you can argue in the comments if portable system counts as a console, because I don't care. I need to be consoled.
How's it going, guys? So I was recently tagged from Willie from All Retro is Fun, as well as Mosley from Drunken Master Studios. They recently came up with a challenge that if we had to pick one system of 3 games that we could only have forever, what would we pick? So I don't know if this is really breaking the rules, because some people consider handhelds just a handheld. They don't call it a system. Some people consider systems like the NES, the Dreamcast, and Xbox. But in my opinion, you know, anything that plays a video game is a system to me. So I ended up going with a Game Boy Advance SP. Reason I went with this is because Game Boy Advance SP, it has really a battery life, and I don't know if battery even matters in regards to this scenario. It's backlit. It plays both Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color and Game Boy and all those cool games. And it's just a really comfortable handheld. It's probably one of the best Game Boys I think that they've ever made. I would have picked like a DS Lite or something like that, but unfortunately it doesn't play the regular Game Boy games. So I did pick 3 games, and none of them are Game Boy Advance games. They are all original Game Boy games. There's a little story behind them, and I did want to do with a little bit of variety between them. So the first game I actually went with is Kirby's Dream Land. Reason I went with this is because this game is one of the first like actual games I've ever gotten for any system. I mean, I probably think I had my Nintendo before I got my Game Boy. But I do remember the day I took home my Game Boy that came with it, the Tetris pack-in. My parents let me pick out one game, and it was Kirby's Dream Land. It's definitely one of those kind of games where you can just play it and finish it, go back, play it again, finish it. And just, I think, having a weird, like, nostalgic feel to, like, King Dedede and Kirby and all, like, the cool powers you can get in it. I just always had such a fun time playing it. The second game I'd go with would actually be Tetris. Reason I'd go with Tetris is because it's Tetris. This game is so much freaking fun. I can play this game for hours, like complete it, or not really complete it, but let's say hit the top, you know, end your goal or whatever it's called, and just go back at it. I can play this game for hours upon hours and never ever get bored. This would probably be on my top 10 list of all time for any game ever made. So yeah, I would definitely pick Tetris. And the third game I'm going with is going to be Pokemon Red. First Pokemon game I ever owned, and it's probably one of the first like RPGs I actually ever played, if you want to call it an RPG. It's extremely fun. If you know all the like little secrets and like little tips and tricks to it, it can be a pretty fun adventure in the game. And I always notice that whenever I do play it, I always choose a different starter, and I feel like the Pokemon that I tend to match up to my team, I always tend to change out each time I play so that every playthrough isn't the same. So then again, yes, those are the 3 games I'd pick. It'd be Tetris, Pokemon Red, as well as a Game Boy Advance SP as my system of choice. If I had to go with a different system, like if I'm limited to this, or if I can't choose a handheld, I don't know what I'd go with. Maybe like an Xbox 360 and pick like Fallout 3, Skate 3, and probably like Dead Space 1 or 2. Those are probably some of my favorite games for that system. But yeah, the Game Boy Advance SP and those 3 games are my favorite. Again, guys, thank you so much for tagging me to do this video. It was a lot of fun, kind of thinking about what I would really pick for 3 games I could only play forever. If you guys do like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you guys like the way it's set up now with the lighting in the game room, I recently just did this today, and I really wanted just to make this video all over again so you guys can get a cool feel for how it's set up, because this is how my future videos are going to look. As always, in the comments field below, just let me know what you think of everything. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe so you can check out the future content. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great week hunting.
Hi guys, the console I chose, that if I could only choose one console and 3 games, would have to be the Nintendo GameCube. And there go all 3 of the choices falling onto the ground, but they're okay. The first one may not be a surprise, but it's Super Mario Sunshine. Really like this platformer. It's just really open world, and I feel like I could just like explore it for a really long time and enjoy it if I was going to have to only play 3 games. Another one is Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. It's a really fun 2-player game, a dungeon crawler that everyone should try at least once. And the final choice is Animal Crossing, which might be a surprise, but that one is just got a lot of stuff to do, and you play it for really, like, basically forever, and the game would keep going on. That's my 3. Alright, thank you.
What's going on, guys? Shout out to Mosley, shout out to Will. All Retro is fun. Today's collab video is for choose one system and 3 games that you can live with for I guess for the rest of your life or whatever. My system would be the Nintendo 64. It's just what I grew up with. It was my very first system. And I guess we can start out with the games. Super Mario 64, one of my very first games I've ever played. Definitely defined 3D games in a whole, with as far as moving the camera wise and all that other shit, and the texture of 3D polygons and all that other stuff. It wasn't the best, but at the time it was fucking amazing. It definitely defined a platform genre and everything. Second will be Banjo-Kazooie. Very awesome platformer made by Rare. I mean, if you don't know that, I mean, I don't know where the hell you've been, but anyways, a very awesome game. Each world is a very different environment. You gotta burn your backpack, you gotta figure out how to use both of the characters or to get to the level. Very awesome game, very good platformer. It's just very, very different, but it's an awesome feel and just blends right in. Third will be Battle Tanks. The game it's hard to see, sorry about the lighting. It's a game that's very underrated. I used to play with my dad, and it's kind of like your Duke Nukem saving the fucking babes and shit, and except they're called Queen Lords, and you're I can't remember what the fuck you're called. Oh, you're called Griffin. That's the guy on there. But it's pretty much the same story as Duke Nukem, but I mean you drive it as a tank, and you get multiple different weapons to use. You get lasers, you get nukes, you get rockets, you get swarm missiles, which are just 3 missiles together and come out. And oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce her. This is Carrie, my fiance.
Hi.
But anyways, guys, thank you for letting me be in this collab video. I just kind of did it last minute, just like the other video. We've just been really busy the past few months. But thank you for having me, Mosley, on your collab videos. Alright guys, y'all have a good, whatever the fuck it is, weekend.
Hey there, you sexy beasts. So I guess it's my turn now, and I want to make this real short, quick, to the point, because I have to make time to heap praise upon these sexy mofos. So it was a bit of a struggle for me. I ended up just narrowing it down to, of course, my most cherished console of all time, and that is the Super Nintendo. And any of you guys that know my taste in games know that I like nostalgia, I like, you know, variety, and I like wacky Japanese fun, I guess you could say. So that's what I based my choices around. So first up, we got nostalgia, of course. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, one of my favorite games of all time. It's pretty much one of the games I think of immediately when I think of the Super Nintendo. After that, we got a little bit of variety, and that is Lost Vikings. Tons of levels, the 3 different characters add a lot of variety to the play. And it's also another game I tend to think about immediately when I think about Super Nintendo. And then after that, we got the wacky Japanese fun. This is pretty much the game that turned me on to wacky Japanese fun, and that is Legend of Mystical Ninja. Sadly, we did not get all of these over here, but we got this one, and it's pretty special to me. Again, one of my favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. Link to the Past I could play through just endlessly and never get tired of it. Pretty much the same deal with Lost Vikings. Review coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Shameless plug. And Legend of Mystical Ninja is fun on many different levels. It's a decent game to play through by yourself, and it's a great game to play through if you have a partner. So, that's pretty much it for my choices, guys. I just want to say thanks to all you guys for being real punctual about getting your clips in. I think this turned out to be the best collab yet, you know. The Christmas collab was a bit more festive, but, you know, holidays kind of give you some bonus points to work with there, because you got the extra festivities of it just being a holiday. You will see Trash Bag Santa come back this year, so, you know, you can look forward to that. Definitely get down in the links and check out all these guys' channels. If you're not subbed to these guys, you pretty much should be to every single one, because they all put in work. They're all good, solid dudes in my book, and they make great content. So thank you, Willie T, for coming up with this topic. Thank you, all of you, for throwing in with us. It's been sexy. We'll see you back here next time.